Welcome to Trends.vc. This is OpenClaw hosting. Alfred North Whitehead once said, "Civilization advances by extending the number of important operations which we can perform without thinking of them." That quote is the entire thesis of this report. Here's what you'll learn. Why 35-plus hosting companies launched in weeks around a single open-source project. How an 18-year-old hit $17,000 MRR, monthly recurring revenue, in 5 days selling managed OpenClaw hosting, then listed the company for $2.25 million. Why 42,000 self-hosted OpenClaw instances are exposed and vulnerable right now, and what that means for the hosting market. What the fork ecosystem, PicoClaw, ZeroClaw, Nanobot, signals about where this is headed, and where the durable opportunities are beyond commodity hosting wrappers. Here's why this matters. Managed hosting for AI agents is becoming the new managed WordPress hosting. 35-plus providers launched in weeks around a single open-source project. That's not a coincidence. That's a market forming in real time. The problem: OpenClaw is the fastest-growing open-source project in GitHub history, 200,000 stars in 84 days. But self-hosting it requires Docker, API keys, reverse proxies, and security hardening. And security researchers found 42,665 exposed instances on the public internet. 93% were vulnerable to exploitation. 89% stored API keys in plain text. One developer lost $47,000 in unauthorized API charges within 48 hours of exposure. The solution: managed OpenClaw hosting. One-click deployment with security, monitoring, and billing protection. The software is free. The hosting is the product. Same model as WP Engine for WordPress. Let's talk about who's in this space. In managed hosting, the top players are ClawCTL, which is security first with sandboxed execution and encrypted secrets, at $49 to $999 a month. ClawPod offers cloud hosting with 5-minute setup and WebRTC live screen viewing. MyClaw.ai is the most affordable at $9 to $39 a month. OpenClaw Cloud does 60-second setup with free AI model credits at $19 a month, plus LaunchClaw, xCloud, KiloClaw, and Claude Host. Then there's SimpleClaw, built by an 18-year-old. It hit $17,000 MRR in 5 days, listed for sale at $2.25 million, then slashed to $225,000 within a day. We'll come back to that story. In forks and lightweight alternatives, PicoClaw is a Go rewrite of OpenClaw that runs in less than 10 megabytes of RAM on $10 boards. It got 12,000 GitHub stars in its first week. ZeroClaw is a Rust implementation at less than 5 megabytes. It boots in under 10 milliseconds and has 17,500 stars. And Nanobot is about 4,000 lines of Python versus OpenClaw's 430,000. For self-hosting, Hetzner is the best value at about $4 a month. Oracle Cloud has a free tier. DigitalOcean and Hostinger round out the options. In enterprise, WZIT does GDPR compliance with GPU support for the European market. And Near AI Cloud offers hardware-level privacy through trusted execution environments. Now, predictions. 35-plus hosting providers will consolidate to 5 to 8 survivors. The wrapper bubble is already deflating. SimpleClaw went from a $2.25 million asking price to $225,000 in a single day. Multiple wrapper founders are listing on Trust MRR as margins compress to zero. The survivors will look like ClawCTL and ClawPod, companies building security and enterprise features that commodity wrappers can't replicate. OpenAI will integrate OpenClaw natively. They hired the creator. OpenAI hired Peter Steinberger, the creator of OpenClaw, in early 2026. Sam Altman personally made the offer. Meta also made a concrete acquisition offer before OpenAI closed the deal. The most likely outcome is that OpenClaw's architecture gets folded into ChatGPT or the OpenAI API as a first-party agent deployment option. PicoClaw and ZeroClaw will spawn dedicated hosting ecosystems for Edge and IoT. PicoClaw runs on $10 boards. ZeroClaw boots in under 10 milliseconds. The use case is AI agents on embedded devices, home servers, and industrial IoT. These need fleet management and over-the-air updates, not cloud hosting. Agent cost optimization will become a standalone product category. OpenClaw's loop cost model rereads growing context on each cycle, compounding token costs. Users report API bills, quote, higher than rent, end quote, from uncontrolled agent loops. One developer lost $47,000 in 48 hours. Light LLM offers model routing but isn't purpose-built for agentic workloads with loop detection. At least one managed host will achieve SOC2 certification and capture enterprise budgets. Enterprise adoption is at 2% at scale, according to Deloitte. No OpenClaw hosting provider currently has SOC2, HIPAA, or ISO 27001 certification. Enterprise budgets are $999 to $5,000 a month per seat, compared to $15 to $50 at consumer pricing. That's the gap. The agent-as-a-service model will extend to Crew AI, LangGraph, and other frameworks. They all face the same deployment complexity. And the ClawHub skill registry will get a security overhaul. 12% of skills were compromised at peak. 341 of 2,857 contained keyloggers and credential stealers. Where are the opportunities? Build an agent observability platform. The Datadog for AI agents. LangFuse does LLM observability but isn't agent-specific. Helicomb provides proxy analytics but lacks loop detection. Datadog started with infrastructure monitoring and expanded into APM, logs, and security. The same path applies here. Build a curated agent skill marketplace. 12% of ClawHub skills contained malware. Apple's curation and 30% cut created a $100 billion+ market by making users trust that downloads were safe. Fork the registry, audit each skill, add code signing. That's the App Store moment for AI agents. Build an enterprise compliance layer. The blocker for enterprise adoption is compliance, not technology. The first to achieve SOC2 plus HIPAA for agent hosting captures a market where budgets are 10 to 50 times consumer pricing. Build an agent cost optimization software as a service. A proxy between the agent and the LLM API. Intelligent caching, model routing, hard billing caps, and cost per task attribution. For Pro members, we also cover white label agent hosting for agencies, PicoClaw and ZeroClaw Edge fleet management, agent security auditing services, multi-framework agent platforms, vertical agent templates, and agent analytics dashboards. What are the risks? Thin moat. Anyone can wrap open source software in a weekend. SimpleClaw proved both the opportunity and the ceiling. Platform risk. OpenAI hired OpenClaw's creator. A first-party deploy your agent button could make third-party hosting redundant overnight, shrinking total addressable market. Self-hosting gets easier each release. Better defaults, better docs, better security. Each improvement shrinks the addressable market. For Pro members, we also cover unit economics, structural security concerns, and the Deloitte prediction that 40% of agentic AI projects will be canceled by 2027. Key lessons from this market. Friction is a business model. When powerful software is free but hard to deploy, the hosting layer captures the value. WordPress proved it at scale. OpenClaw is proving it at speed. The wrapper window is 90 days, not 90 months. SimpleClaw hit $17,000 MRR in 5 days and was listed for sale a week later. This is arbitrage, not a business. Security creates the only durable moat. 42,000 exposed instances, 89% with plain text API keys. $47,000 in unauthorized charges from a single breach. Security infrastructure can't be copied in a week. For Pro members, forks are not competition, they're market expansion. Open source creates hosting markets at predictable rates, and the real margin is above the hosting layer. Some hot takes. The wrapper bubble is a feature, not a bug. Dozens of commodity hosts launching and failing is healthy market price discovery. The survivors build the real infrastructure. OpenClaw hosting will be bigger than OpenClaw itself. Just as WP Engine is worth more than WordPress.org. The hosting ecosystem will capture more total revenue than the framework. For Pro members, the real winner hasn't launched yet. Personal AI agents will be as common as email accounts, and every major open-source AI framework will have a managed hosting ecosystem. Let's address the skeptics. Isn't this just another wrapper bubble that will pop? For commodity hosts, yes, but the comparison is WordPress hosting, not crypto. The underlying demand for AI agents is real. The wrappers that add security, compliance, or observability survive. The ones that add nothing don't deserve to. OpenAI will just build this themselves. They might, but Automatic never killed WP Engine. Google never killed AWS. Platform owners historically underinvest in hosting because it's low margin relative to their core product. Third-party hosts win by caring more about the hosting experience than the platform owner does. Self-hosting will get easy enough that nobody needs managed hosting. WordPress is 20 years old and managed hosting is still a multi-billion-dollar market. Ease of self-hosting doesn't eliminate the demand for managed hosting. It eliminates the demand for bad managed hosting. AI agents are overhyped. This market will contract. Deloitte says 40% of agentic AI projects will be canceled. That still leaves 60%. In the consumer market, personal AI assistance via WhatsApp is growing independently of enterprise adoption curves. That's the full report on OpenClaw hosting. Links to everything mentioned are in the show notes and at Trends.vc. If you found this useful, the best thing you can do is share it with one person who'd get value from it. Until next time.